see people in our music industry do that, and they in the cult. That pattern is true. That pattern is strong.
And then that nigga did the moonwalk. He just break the mic all the way down under bro.
Yeah. And what that walk was, a backward slide,
Yep.
going backwards like a tape being rewound and shit.
Yep. and how them folks hide messages on songs, you gotta play it backwards.
Yeah. That's how
Hey
you
look,
can
bro.
message.
Uh-huh.
So that could link you to the moon and Satan, because Baal, right, which is a demon slash Satan or devil character in the Bible, is a moon god.
Yeah, and it is a soft, pillowy, like marshmallow, like steamed bun.
Mm.
Yeah.
Really?
Asian bun, yeah, bao.
Uh-huh.
B-A-O, yeah.
Look at this shit. You
You
cold?
put stuff between it. Yeah.
You cold now. You cold. This shit crazy, dog. And we just been never thinking this shit. Now we talking about it, it's so obvious, ain't
Yeah, I did a lineup a while ago, right, where if this is Canaanite statue of Baal, and the only Chinese at the time, it was the only Chinese ghost picture that I had of a Chinese ghost, and that nigga looked just like the motherfucker. I'm talking about, it's like a headshot, but he got a tall hat, just like the Canaanite statue. And like when you line them up, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy, man. I might use that soon. I don't know. I'm gonna do something. So I've been fucking with these photos for a minute now, so I'm gonna go ahead. But it's just a lot of shit. Shit can get kind of heated. But that's one of my ghost picture lineups where I actually got a picture of a spirit that is wearing the same shit that a statue is wearing.
See, you like me, I got some stories I've been wanting to talk about because I've been doing some investigative journalism just on things and something that I would like to talk about to an audience rather than, you know what I'm saying, write an article. So I got to put it together, but I mean, we do like little mini documentary things, but it's so time consuming, you know, but that's coming.
That's what's up. Yeah. I'm just trying to get quicker to the point with people and shit, not try to bring them out. There's nothing like I don't. There's not much that I can say that I don't know that is new from a couple of days of like rehashing shit. But I think the message is generally the same. But
I feel you.
Hey, I got
another ghost picture. My bad. Yeah.
No, you good. No, go ahead. Because when I ask the question, it's gonna change the subject. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah.
So I got one more ghost picture that is like undeniably interesting somehow because there's this old what they call it, Mycenaeans, or what them people in Greece and Rome before the volcano and shit, Crete and all that other fuck. Anyways, so there's this dude. He got on this type of hat. He got on the type of hat he got on. I got a ghost photo of a spirit with that same type of hat, yo. And I don't know how else to explain it. It's like it's red, it's black and white, and it's like it's shaped the same. The white part is at the same place, but it's fucking weird. And it's like I'm gonna leave it at that.
Now, did you want to conclude on it, so I change the subject. But I'm just gonna ask a question.
That's fine.
All right, now check this out. A motherfucker asked Nikki C the other day, who created God? And after you ask that question, if you can answer it, what would you do if you knew who created God? What would it do for you to know that?
That sounds like some shit Nuth will ask.
I mean, I'm saying, yeah, he asked Nikki this shit, this dude on her show. And I was just saying that, I mean, you can't really ask that question because nobody really knows. And then at the same time, you got a pretty good idea if the way shit work here, it's gotta be the same in the heaven. Like it gotta be a female and a male energy that creates us to be able to create too. So it can't be just one-sided. I feel like it's gotta be a duat of something that created us. Then what it is beyond my imagination or everybody's, but then in the same place. If you found out what created it and what it was, what would it do for you? How would it change your world? Like what would you, by getting your answer, what would that do for you?
Well, I think that first of all, it's a trick question. I think for a person to ask that, they would be coming from the angle that the concepts of what God is totally fabrication, right? So in essence, God is the devil because God is not the Most High, right? So I think it's like one of them lead into one of them type of trickeries, right? Because they're coming from the angle that God is not the Most High, but instead of saying that, they're going to be like, who created God? Because God is a creation of man, because man follow religion, right? So I think that's
and then when you say that, he said, well, who created the Most High? That's the next question he asked. And that's when I said, if you found out, if somebody really knew and they told you, what would that do for you? That's what I say. After he asked that question, I asked the question, what would that do for you if you found out who created the Most High?
It's almost like he would have to say, or they would have to say something like, well, they're going to start worshiping that thing instead of the Most High. Right? Kind of like, they want to just debunk shit, or, you know what I mean? It's
that's
like,
what it is. I think that's what it is the most.
Yeah.
People just want to prove shit to be wrong so bad that they'll go to any extent to do it.
Right. They want to find the most high.
The most higher.
Right.
Higher.
You know what I'm saying? There's some language out there from like the Krishna consciousness of certain places that would say that us being born, the deity would have the opposite reality. So the deity isn't born, nor does it die, but it is forever, unchanged. Right? And it's like, without those type of word plays, a person can be like, well, I don't know,
Right.
Is you just got to flex your vocab into like some type of math or some type of scientific metaphysic type wordplay to find to answer that yourself, right? It's like, well, the deity, to me, the definition of deity is all powerful, all knowing, all that type of shit. So there's no limitation. But what we experience the most is limits. Like I got to stop, I'm tired, or I'll get off soon, so I'm clock out, or the baby due in 8 months, so you know what I mean. Like all we know is time limits and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's from my perspective. You know what I mean?
Right. So if the creator is the all-knowing and is also the all-unknowing, and then you have to see that you are of the same thing. So what you got to understand is it's always going to be something that you don't know, and it's always going to be something that you know. So you really can't even ask the question. That's like a rhetorical question almost, because it's kind of like you questioning what the fuck are you? At
Right.
the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It is because the great mystery is a real general term used by so-called Native Americans to describe what the deity was. But it's like the concept of mystery, it hints at our limitations. But the deity or the source deity or the personality of the source knows all time and space simultaneously, where we learn space and time on a linear path. You know what I mean? So it's like the puppeteer or the puppet master, if you want to look at it like that, knows about the strings, the stage, the characters, the audience, the setting, and knows all these type of things. But we, being just puppets or in the moment, we only know what our tunnel vision show us, right? So it's in a matter of comfort. It's supposed to comfort you to know that the higher power knows more than what is told, right? Like the higher power knows what's in your heart. Like there's something that is able to take in consideration things that you might be going through personally, right? And that's when that type of language becomes prevalent in religio type thoughts, because you know what I mean. Certain sways be like, well, it's not no mystery to the Most High. It might be a mystery to me, right? And so then you got to go out and say, well, I have to put my trust and faith in this intelligence that's outside of me, but I have a connection with yada. People might not.
Because you got a connection with it, because when you speak to yourself answer yourself, and you ain't even got to open your mouth, but you heard it. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you connected to it to a certain point. And that's why I feel like you can't ask the question. That's like one of them questions, like you just can't ask yourself, because you know it's got to be something greater than you, that's more higher than you or more knowledgeable than you, because look at the creation that we live in. Don't nobody tell the grass to grow. Don't nobody tell the sun to go around. Don't nobody tell it to get dark and get light. Don't nobody tell the wind to blow. Don't nobody, it's nothing. You can't do it. You can't make it do it. So you know it's got to be something doing this. This is an intelligent thing that's happening before your eyes.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point. That's an awesome point, actually, especially that wind thing, and how the celestials move. Like, I think it put limitations on people when they be like, they settle for you are God, because that would connect you quicker to Satan, what that is, than the Most High, kind of, because it'd be the selfishness in a person that will promote to you, who is outside of them, that you are the only God that you need to be worried about. But in the same breath, they are the one telling you. So trust and believe these people that's out here that claim to be professing that people should believe in. They feel like they're getting credit for saying it and for people believing it. So it's like, it's about them. It's about people believing them. At the end of the day, a person can tell you that you God, but because they feel the same way about themselves, they feel like they are more God than you because they are the ones that told you.
Yeah.
Right? So if you go and believe that in the back of their mind, they like, see, he didn't even know that he was a part of Satan, but I told him because I'm the one that really God. I'm the God that told him he's God. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like
That makes
don't think
your
of
God.
themselves.
And that almost makes them your God because they had to tell you that you God.
Right. Yes, exactly. But they're not going to tell you that because it's going to fuck up their credit report. They rather just, smoke a blunt thinking like, yeah, I told 8 people today that they God and they believe me. I'm the God of these 8 people. Yeah, just like you said. Yeah. It's a self. See, the one thing that is an easy telltale sign is the fact that narcissism and selfishness is something that's not it's not progressively positive at all, right? So when you hear someone preach, it's me, or it's you, and that's it. That's pretty selfish. It's pretty. I don't want to keep saying narcissist, but it's pretty much like, yeah, the world evolved around you. So if the world evolved around you, how the world gonna evolve around me too? You know what I mean? And so I'm pretty sure they could say the world
You is you and I'm you and
right.
me is you. And that's it. That's what they gonna tell you. But
Yeah.
that's like one of those thematic things. Because of course we know I'm me and you me too, because you use that title also. That's the only thing that makes me you and you me is the title.
And I just said because of how off-putting the shit is. I don't had a motherfucker say, I'm me, I'm you. I'm you. Right? And the shit off-put so bad. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I see you. And I just I try to make sense of it. And I hear people that listen. I hear people that they don't want to go negative with the shit. So the first thing a person would do is agree to it. And they'd be like, yo, instead of in a bill, or if a person you think got a heart for you, and they say some shit that's really off, a lot of times it pulls at the strings of righteousness in a person to just go along with it or agree to continue the flow of conversation as opposed to being technical and say, I don't think so. And, you can hear that with people when they build or they don't have the nuts to be like, no. And it's just coaxing people to get a yes, just like these telemarketers that used to call back in the day to get people to just hand over that credit card number, and they don't never get no package. And it's the same kind of concept. It's just like, agree with this shit and but really it's like, and it's like, I don't want to be nobody else, me personally. Now, I wouldn't not say that we are not connected in a very universal term to suggest that we are living in the same realm. We are living in the same time. We probably grew up in the same era. We experience a lot of the same things, and a lot of the things that you say, I might say, and vice versa. And the things that I agree to, you might agree to, and vice versa, But that is, we have free will, and free will makes each one of us different by default. And so once a person says, I'm me and you are me and I'm you, that's the same shit the archives want you to think when you let the spirits, share your body.
And that's almost that beehive concept. They want everybody to be the same. And we not. And your fingerprints clearly show that. Everybody has their own identity. You got your own unique. So therefore, you can't be the same. So it's almost like the creator. You all knowing and you all unknowing. So you are not me, but you can be me, but not really. You know what I'm saying? You can only be in situations that I could be in, or like you said, go through certain things or say certain things that I might say. Like that don't make it me, but only because we use them titles is that where that thing me and you work. That's the only way it works because it's a title.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Through cooperation can that work? Like if a motherfucker did not agree, like let's say if you was like you take one of the most despicable people that you think that is just a low life or someone you don't agree with, you probably won't agree that they are you and you are them, especially if they say it to you, right? And it's just like, with them fingerprints and shit, your soul most likely got the same effect of individuality, your frequency, your aura, that there's nobody like you, right? And it's like that's kind of what the blessings in this world is that we around and we interact with people that's different than us. And believe it or not, we won't we won't like it if we was around a bunch of clones. We wouldn't like it if we didn't have variety and options. And you know speaking from a dream perspective that I had, and that we all have a history of being an archon, no individuality amongst them, right? Like in the heavens, right, where these beings be, like as them, even though we're from the same place, it was when we became incarnate in this realm that we became individuals. Now, if we wasn't that, we would be a part of a hive mind, like you said, and we would be part of a great body. So it seems like the ways in this world want people to go back into that filter or that process. And once people become transhumanism or they go along with the way the world is, and they build up that hive mind thinking, they would try to outdo individual thinkers. You see, and then the individual thinkers will become threats because they're going against the grain. So it's interesting to say the least, because really the worshipers that promote that type of mainframe are hive minded because they know the same thing. Let's say me, you, and 7 or 8 other people, we are only ones that know about a particular reality or truth. Like we could be anywhere in the world, and that shit would strengthen our telepathy so strong that we would always have a connection mentally and spiritually because of that truth in which that anchors us. And this is what happens when people go through certain degrees and certain information. They become privy to certain things. They have a stronger mental spiritual vibe than common strangers because of that thing that makes them able to be connected. And that's kind of like a hive mind. You know what I'm saying? Working together. I mean, but at the same time, we kind of like to be honest, I'm freestyling now, and the polarity to that, the opposite of that spectrum, is all these different people out here trying to increase their consciousness. All these people out here that's trying to build, say what they know, and learn things they don't know. Like that in itself can be considered a community, right? And so the difference between a community and a hive is that a community is built by individuals, whereas individuality is not a preference in a hive. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the community in certain aspects don't work no differently than that. You see what I mean? Like you can say that that's a beehive, or you can say that that's a bee community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just when it comes to who the negative motherfuckers is and how they see themselves, that's where you be like, well, who it is you? What do you claim? You know, like what sex you claim and shit. Is you part of this gang, or is you part of this community? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it goes into the title. What title you think sound the best to you? You know what I'm saying? Which title puts you in the mind of what you speaking on? How does it make you feel when you say the title? Because you know that shit got power to it, because that's something that we've been indoctrinated from like since we was young. Like it's almost kind of like the titles is already programmed in you. So when you hear them titles, you gotta respond to it. Almost like when you train a dog to obey commands and shit. So when that dog hear them certain words or them certain commands, it does a certain thing. Or it know how to feel. You know what I mean? So you might say community, I might say beehive. But then when I say hive, I might be saying, yeah, look at these hive motherfuckers. And then when you say community, you could just be like, dance a bunch of these motherfuckers. But we probably be saying the same shit. But community seems more genuine than hive, because the hive mind means there's nobody thinking for themselves. Like we just operating all doing somebody else did for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that free will shit. That free will concept come into play then now, because I don't know if a hive have free will amongst them. Like I think that maybe free will is exactly what is excluded from a hive use some words, whereas a community is all about free will and the people building, right? Because there's a lot of people out here with the options and the choices that they make, and some choose to be a part of the community. But when you say hive, it's like there's no chance for them to. I don't know if bees can go from one hive to another. I don't think they can. I don't know if they can switch.
That's something to look up. I don't think they can either. I think you will be like a virus. They'll start working on your head like, hey, what the fuck you doing here? Get him. Get him. They'll start whooping your ass.
Yeah, free will. Yeah. I'm gonna Google that shit. I can't do shit while I'm on StreamYard on my phone, but yeah.
that is something to think about though. Can other bees be like, hey, I'm tired of this hive. I'm gonna go to another hive.
Right. Pack your shit, get a cup of honey, get them from me, and go.
Then you come to the new hive with an offering for the queen, like, I bought you some honey, baby.
Oh, you from down the street, huh? We heard about y'all. So what, they want to tell me
that? That's funny, man.
Hey, yo, bumblebees don't got no hives, do they?
I don't know.
I think they just be out here, yo.
All big and fat and
yeah. They the wild bees, but I ain't never see no bumblebee hive.
You know? Yeah, now that you say so, I don't think so either, bro.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? Be Bello Solo, and you know what? Like, I got some flowers in front of my house, and I remember in the summer times, like I'll be on my steps smoking some weed, and the bumblebees will be there, and one bumblebee just stay there. Right, the next day That motherfucker be there the whole night. The next day, you're in the same spot. Like, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Evidently, he had nowhere to go or be that night. And he wasn't dead. He just was parked and shit. Like,
He's like, fuck it, I'm done my work for the day.
right. So I'm thinking like, okay, so they pollinate by basically dropping germs on other shit, or they might be smart about it and know exactly what they're doing, but they pollinate by going to different flowers, dropping off, picking up, like duffel bag boys for flowers. But I ain't never heard nobody say here go a beehive and here go a bumblebee hive.
Right.
I ain't never heard that shit. So where the fuck do bumblebees come from? We need somebody in the chat or somebody on the panel to look that shit up.
Motherfuckers who realize they don't want to be part of the hive no more, and they go somewhere and start getting fat and eat all the resources for themselves, and they get big and they just be lonely.
Saving the
world. Big and lonely.
Yeah, they do look lonely. I mean, listen, they do in their own world. I ain't never seen like 2 or 3 of them at the same time flying in the same area. Then they might be on the same plants. They might be like be in them same bushes, but they don't never jive like.
Like jump on the that'll be a scary sight to see a bunch of them motherfuckers all together. Woo-woo.
Check this out. If you could share, if Cautious is there, share the screen, or if you can see there. I just looked it up too. I'm tripping on that K-pop thought, man. Still, I'm gonna go watch some videos and see on that after this. But I just brought up a bumblebee hive because I didn't even know if they have, but it seems like they do.
They do. And are they hives just like beehives?
Well, I typed them on Google. Seems a bit different. Some are on the ground. Some's like in a big lump.
You said on the ground.
You always said they called him.
They've got like larvae in the grass. Others just like, I don't know. It's on the screen. That's the images. But then it's got here, it says, is a bumblebee hive dangerous? If you do approach close to it, be sure not to breathe on the nest as this can make the bees behave defensively, and they may sting. Please note that the bumblebees are not generally aggressive. They might get aggravated if you interfere with the nest.
So they have a nest.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me think this is all live Mandela effect because I ain't never ever heard of a bumblebee hive.
Me neither, bro.
Hive in a good area of flowering plants. It also protects empty mice are a favorite hive site. But these can be difficult to find. Bumblebees need us to make hive sites for them. All you need is a garden and a few bits and pieces. I'm just Googling this stuff here.
Man. And you know what? Because we just spoke this into reality, within the next week or two, I'm going to actually come across more than 4 of these motherfuckers at the same time.
Everything you ask for, bro. When you ask for it, that you shall receive it, dog. That's a fact.
Check that out. We don't have them. Supposedly. Sorry to interrupt. It says here, one of the photos says, keep the Australian mainland bumblebee free. So obviously we don't have it yet.
That was right on time,
You still got a war with bumblebees?
Hey?
They don't even got stingers, yeah?
Well, they got a $50,000 reward here, whatever it says here.
Hey, you always said they call him a bum.
I mean, condolences. I mean, what can someone say to that?
See, I don't think they would do it smart too, because this, I don't know if you can see the screen, but this is like it says a pollen covered bumblebee, so they're just covered in it and they go from flower to flower and just pollinate.
They be taking big old shit from plants.
How the fuck does a fly know what fuck he at? You know, like bees and shit. Like bees go back to a hive. Do they really? Like bees, they chill all day, and they make it back to the crib no matter where the fuck they at. Yeah, listen, I've been here for 10 years and I can still get lost in Baltimore. Trust and believe. Yeah. Trust and believe. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, all these roads go in kind of like circles and shit. So eventually you're going to run into something if you go one way. But still.
When I was in here walking, dog, that was the weirdest motherfucking place, bro. You could go a block. You can make a block and think you don't run into the side, you know, like how you can make a block in some cities and you just make a block and you come right back out on the same street. If you fuck around and make a block in Milwaukee, nigga, you'll be on a whole nother side of town. That shit crazy.
But you know, one thing about Baltimore, it's like when you drive a car, it's literally like driving a boom buggy or a go-kart. Like the rules of car engagement is just so free out this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. With these little ass roads and shit, and people coming down one lane or one part of the road, it's one lane. It's a skinny lane, but you can go both ways on the motherfucker, and people parking on one side. So it's like, depending on where you are in the road, you got to yield, or the other person got to yield if you coming through. Yeah. So they got to pull over before they keep going.
Yeah, because the cars they make you park your cars like all on one side. You got to switch it over on certain nights and shit. That's how they do in Milwaukee. So the streets be so small, and these cars are parked on the street. So you down there gotta, like you said, you gotta wait, or somebody gotta be responsible and let the other person come, because y'all ain't gonna be able to fit.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Yo, it'd be some joints. I'll be like, yo, can I even fit down this motherfucker? Yeah.
I'm gonna make you want to go get that little bitty ass car.
What was that Nintendo game, yo? With that little ass car. All you did was jump levels.
I don't know. I probably remember you saying the name.
You had this little ass
car. I had a Sega. You got Outrun. What do you mean?
It was this little ass car. All you did was jump different levels. Back and forth on the side and shit.
Sounds good.
But yeah, anyways, that's not important. Potholes out this bitch can fuck your shit up. Like, yo, I swear to God, potholes is the most dangerous shit out here on these streets, man. Yeah.
I think that's everywhere, dog. I think potholes is you can't stop them motherfuckers.
There's just so many out this bitch. It's like, yo, like I'll be driving and I will miss a pothole and be scared for 5 minutes after that. Like thinking about how big that bitch was. You hear me? Like I saw baby Superman in that motherfucker, like chilling, right? Like the motherfucker was so big. Baby
State
Superman.
of Maryland. In the state of Maryland. That's what I gotta say. I don't know anything else about. I know the wire came from the. What was depicted on that? How true is that? You reckon? Brandon?
Or cops being dirty.
Nah, yeah, that's a pretty shitty question. But just the whole the Baltimore scene.
Well, when I came out here the first time, I was like, I couldn't believe at the residential poverty that I witnessed, my dude. Like, I'm talking about. Talking about you will have like blocks of row houses.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these motherfucking row houses, all of them be boarded up except for maybe two. And them bitches be made, they be done up and shit, all pretty and shit, but the rest of them bitches is boarded up and gutted. And it'd be blocks like that where it's like only a few people live on this whole motherfucking strip. And everything else is boarded up or empty or vacant. Some of the motherfucking streets ain't got no goddamn street lights. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like I ain't never see such a thing. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
It's like that in Oakland too, bro. When I went to Oakland, my wife's niece, her husband, they live in Oakland, and bro, they was in the middle of the hood, but their house was the sharpest house. It had the little tall ass gate around it with barbed wire going around it. They had the pineapple trees in the backyard and shit, the lemon trees and shit. But the next to that motherfucker was goddamn it Red Fox house. And the next door was, and then about 2 blocks is people live in tents and clothes all over the street and garbage everywhere. And they rent was $5,000, bro. They rent was $5,000 to live in the hood, nigga.
That's too much. That's a lot. Like, I don't know, man. I don't went down streets where it's like, I don't know, yo. It's like, I don't know. I guess it could scare. If a motherfucker ain't got the connection with their deity, they might not get up at all. But it's like, it's just reality where motherfucker, it'd be a whole goddamn block or like a whole lane because they row houses for the most part, right? So they row houses. It ain't no going left or right. You gotta go. Once you commit to that road, you gotta go all the way down that motherfucker. And I'm just saying, it's just like it'd be like so many joints that be sealed up. And it's like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. But people be out there and I don't know what the fuck they doing, but it's to me, it's like the city is such a goddamn hub of corruption. Like me coming from Florida, I ain't never see so many so-called black politicians in office. Right? I ain't never seen such a thing. I ain't never seen a group of black Muslims coming downtown. I ain't never seen no shit like that. I felt like a motherfucking slave from the 1800s coming to a city. Like I ain't never seen like Orlando downtown don't look like shit in Baltimore. You hear me? It's almost like I was in Africa in 3013 and shit, like in the future. Like, part of me was like, God damn, y'all got beards and shit and got a job. Like, I was just so calm. And I was like, I was like, well, what the fuck? Like, Sheila Dixon, she's a mayor, a black woman mayor, whole time corrupted as fuck. You feel me? Like, all the council people corrupted as shit, and that's what happens here. The paperwork is just gone. You got people that's on government assistance that's supposed to be on no longer than like 7 years, been on that shit their whole life. You got people out here that's on methadone and they got all these drug issues. And, they just get these services unlimited, and it just triple community where it's like all the older people are like ruined by health issues that stem from drugs. Because evidently there's something in the water where a lot of older women, not old women, but like in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s, they be with canes and walkers, and they can't walk right. They can't stand all the way up. They got no teeth and shit. They're like a lot of people. I don't know what the fuck they doing out here. But they definitely let people deteriorate out this bitch.
It gotta be drugs, goddamn it, a bad eat.
Yeah, but I don't know what drugs do that. Like, I'm not, I don't know if they're doing high bent over or what, but like women with walkers and shit, walking shit. I don't know if fucking on heroin kill your back muscles or what. I don't know, but it's just common, and it's like, the system, they just let people just get deteriorated to where it's like, I don't know, it's like it's hella youth out this motherfucker, like, and they all out here for I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but I know that motherfuckers is crazy everywhere. So
whatever they doing, it ain't working for them.
I don't know where it's gonna go. There's so many churches and so many schools in this city. So many churches, schools, and liquor stores. It's like that's it. It's like churches and schools. I ain't never seen so many churches and schools. Whole time, don't nobody want to go to church or school out
or school. Man, what they want to go to the liquor store. That's not pop.
And it's not, I can't even say liquor store like that because where I'm from, 7-Eleven had liquor.
Right.
And Walmart had liquor, but they don't have that shit up here. Gas stations don't got liquor up here. So it'd be these corner stores, right? And these bars, they call them bars. And none of these motherfuckers is owned by anybody but immigrants, y'all. I swear to God. But that's the same thing that I witnessed when I was in Florida. So I'm just like, yo, the immigrants come here to sell us the shit that fuck up the neighborhood or at least keep people pacified. And they make hella bread doing that shit. Because they be in every fucking store, every gas station. And it's just like everything else is just like.
I think that's pretty much everywhere now. All the foreigners have the gas station, liquor stores, and then there's a church area. And where I'm in Memphis, I'm in Tennessee. Nigga, it's 3,000 churches in Memphis. They got one on one street, nigga. They got 6 churches on one street.
Wow, damn.
Yep, it's like three right across from each other. Like it's like a intersection. It's a church. And you look right next door, it's a church. Then you look over on the other side, it's a church, and it's / a college church. Then you go down a little more, then here go another church. We the church, this the church capital, goddamn.
And I bet you they be competing and shit. Counting they numbers, man. I bet you they even across the street.
Hey, but ain't it funny though that they didn't make churches eccentric?
Huh?
They didn't make the church. They didn't make church be eccentric. Like it should have been like one of the places that should have been stayed open because they supposed to be like places where you go to get healed and you know what I'm saying.
Oh, like in this lockdown shit.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been one of the places that got. It shouldn't have been one of the places that wasn't eccentric. Is what I'm saying because people, evidently people need church and shit. I know it ain't what it is. But, that shit like real mental to some people though.
Well, check this out. The church is pretty much the only black businesses in the hood.
Yeah.
To be honest. And
That's so funny.
the only black-owned businesses consistently found in the hood, next to maybe a barbershop or a hair salon and shit. Like, you know, motherfuckers won't let no foreigners cut your hair now.
No.
So it's like,
Hey, you go in that bitch and I poo sitting over there waiting, you be like, and this be a line, you be like, I wait. Now ain't gonna go to Apu ass.
Slumdog Millionaire cutting my shit.
Slumdog man. Apu.
They had that on that show. What was it called?
Slumdog Millionaires. That's what these immigrants really come over here to be.
Yeah.
And fucking, what would you do by like some big Mexican dude, John Consonas or something? You know that show?
What's the
On
show?
ABC or some shit. Used to be on a long time ago anyway, and they had this thing. Would you like get your hair cut by a white barber? And then they had it so like set up. Nobody like, they were like, is this a joke? Is this a joke? One guy did it. I think.
Hey, you know, they did that shit on barbershop though. Remember when nobody go to the white boy, but he wound up being the coldest one in the barbershop.
Yeah.
He was doing the trick with the clips and shit. Then nobody want, and then the one nigga let him cut his hair. He was like, dang, he was putting designs in motherfuckers' head. He was like, and one trick with clips and shit.
Oh, nice.
I don't know about my suit cut my shit. They don't even cut their own hair. But I ain't got nothing against immigrants. Because all the ones that I know, and I know a lot, they be cool as fuck because they be on the other side of the counter. They can't nothing else but to say, what's up, during, you know. But you notice that they be the nicest motherfuckers because they kind of got this guilt in them. Where
Every think of your resources, and then you just by default, goddamn it. But that's why I said what I was saying. We started a financial group, nigga, and we get some of the people like Sunray and what's his name, the boy, and motherfuckers like that come over here and they get them motherfuckers, get them certain things that we can't get, and that'll put us in the game. We all like take a financial group, you know what I mean? We can
Tim
take advantage of it.
Tams. You know Tim Tams? So you guys haven't heard of Tim Tams, so like, it's like
no.
They're famous. They're famous like biscuits over here. I think it's like Vegemite, but it's really like, I mean, it's particular in the sense that it's particular to Australia.
Who's their mascot?
Arnott's Tim Tam, which is some bird sitting in a tree. I mean,
Got no trees in Australia, so how y'all got Tim Tam?
people like Tim Tams. Chocolate biscuits.
Hey yo, I don't know. Maybe if we could pick our own immigrants and shit, like we need to change this shit up. I want to get some Eskimos down here. Get them out them fucking igloos. Like we need to save them. Like what the fuck? They don't know what the fuck the world has gone to right now.
True that.
Like get out the motherfucking igloos. Leave them fucking whales alone.
What? What?
Y'all need to assimilate into the population.
Brother,
Get y'all dumb ass out of them fucking igloos.
I disagree.
Come over here and vote, motherfucker.
Living in a natural way, living within the elements as they have been for generations upon generations upon generations.
I want to tear a little Eskimo bitch out. Yeah, like get her little ass over here. They got a Eskimo mingle.
All over the world.
This is my life goal now. I don't give a fuck about archives. I don't give two shits about coronavirus. I want to fuck this shit out with Eskimo shit. And my girl gonna let
You
me.
just want to make sure you got bloody